How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious, and welcome to this week's edition of Should You Summon? This is a weekly video I release the evening before that weekend's banner in Watcher of Realms, in which I answer the question, should you summon? So what is on our plate this week? Well, it is the Salazar Kineza 10X. It's going on from tomorrow, Friday, until Saturday. Pretty interesting event. As always, I will answer this question and break it down for all spending groups, those being free-to-play, low spender, mid-spender, dolphin, and whale, as well as all game types, so how far into the game you are. Early game, mid-game, late game, end game. The question we have to answer is, should you summon? No. No, you shouldn't.
Fastidious.
All right, jokes aside, I feel bad for Kineza. She has fallen victim to this joke on my channel twice. I know Bucket also made a similar joke during the Kineza Kriya banner. I feel bad for the girl. She's not even that bad. She's like a solid 5.5 out of 10 hero. She's like a solid B hero. But, you know, when it comes down to it, she's put on these banners the first time because she was with Kriya, and we had other interesting stuff that we knew was coming up, and Kriya's such an L. This time, not even a bad banner. She's solid. Salazar is fantastic. Just not good enough to justify summoning this week when we know next week we are getting a Silas Virna banner, and then the best banner we've ever seen in this game, that being Lust and Arrogance 10x with Lust guaranteed at 250 summons if you have not summoned her by 250 summons. We've all been saving for a month now, month plus for some people. I mean, how could you ever summon on this banner? This is going to be a short video. I will break down their kits just so you guys can be familiar. If you are a big whale or certainly a Kraken, why not? Go for your A5 Salazar, you know, or maybe you have Salazar built out and somehow you never got Kineza, so you want the bond skill. But of these three couples, this is by far the worst. Salazar, let's talk economics. In economics, you have a concept of a luxury item, a luxury good. That's what Salazar has become in this game. If you're early game or mid game, he's amazing, right? He can help you with so much stuff. Even in late game, he can be amazing in some cool stuff. He's really, really good in Void Rift. But when you have this view of where do I want to be in months, right? He is not going to transform your account the way Silas will, the way Virna will, because you'll pair Virna with Silas to improve the bond, right? A bonded Silas is the best hero in the game. So you can just think of Virna as a Silas buff if you're looking at it through this lens. If you're early, mid, or late game, she also is just a good hero. And then Lust and Arrogance, especially if you're going to get both, game-changing, game-breaking heroes for your account. Salazar is a luxury good. He is not, you know, a staple item.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
That's my take. He's amazing. I would love to get him. I wish this banner was coming in a month. I would go crazy on it. I really want Salazar. He's an S tier hero. Do not get it twisted. The other ones are S+. I mean, when it comes to Lust, we might be looking at like a top 5 hero designation that I only give 5 heroes at a time, where I give a gold star next to the hero on my tier list. That's how good Lust is. That's also, Lust makes Arrogance that much better. And then the other banner, Silas is the best hero in the game. Nothing changes that. If you have, basically, I talked about this with Special K in our video yesterday. If you have Silas and he's not A5 and you don't have Virna, you should be summoning. The only reason you wouldn't is because you have to make the hard choice between that banner and Lust. Certainly, that's not a hard choice between waiting for that banner and Salazar. So the real question and the real debate and the many videos I'll probably have to make, the real should you summon will come next weekend. How do you summon? Of course, the way they answered this week was no. The answer next week is heck yes, but it's what do you do? And that's where it's how many summons do you have? How can you best split them between the two banners? Where do you make your big decisions? Because, I mean, we're talking about top 10 heroes in the game. When it comes to Silas, we're talking about the best hero in the game. When we're talking to Lust and Arrogance, we're talking about like top 7 heroes in the game. Lust, to be seen, maybe even better than that. I mean, you can't go for this banner. No one can go for this banner unless you have 1,000+ summons, and even then I would probably still say, wouldn't you rather put those into Lust and try to get, because even though she's guaranteed at 250 if you haven't gotten her by then, after that the banner remains and it's just the best 10x ever, basically, with Lust and Arrogance. So it just makes no sense. You cannot go for this banner. Let's talk about the kits. I might as well do my due diligence, and then we'll wrap it up. Salazar, tremendous hero. No talent, we can skip that. Now on to his basic attack. Pretty interesting. There's no damage on this attack. They put it on this passive over here. Did they think it was too much text? Like, what a strange thing. So you click on here, no damage here, just a 15% chance to inflict bleed. This is going to go up to a 17% chance. Bleed, very good damage over time debuff. It's a nice, kind of continuous passive damage when it is applied. This lasts 4 seconds. And yeah, 17% chance with skill ups. We're going to skip to the passive now, Boiling Blood, because I think it's important that people actually know what his basic attack does, because of course it does do really nice damage. Launches a basic attack on one enemy, dealing 35% damage. This goes up to 55% damage twice. The second attack is a guaranteed crit, so especially if you're early or mid-game, you're not going to be crit capping many of your heroes. He's going to crit all the time, so you can really load him up. He's got tremendously high base attack. Before the introduction of some of the newer heroes, particularly Ardia, he had the highest attack in the game at 6,500. Ardia is over 7,900, which honestly feels like a typo. Very good though, so very easy for an early or mid-game player to build him. You could even ignore crit, just pump the crit damage and the attack to the moon, or build him with like 50% crit. Let's go to the ultimate now. Launches a blitz of 6 strikes randomly on all targets in range, each strike dealing 220% damage, and the last one dealing 300%. So the first 5 are the 220, the last one is 300%. You can get this even higher, right? So this could be 300% and 380 with skill ups. It is tremendously strong. Becomes immune to all damage when the skill is in effect. So he has this like kind of innate tankiness because he's basically invulnerable. The skill guarantees crit hits on targets inflicted with bleed. So the way you make this skill work is you trigger it when there's no other targets in range besides the one you want to hit. So if you think like a big boss you want to nuke down in Void Rift, if you want to think guild boss, of course, supremely strong, super high chance he put bleed on there. So again, crit, especially eventually, you will crit cap him, late game, end game. But earlier on, he's really easy to build, insane base stats, just a really good hero. This is one of the best burst nuking abilities in the game, and he's still super relevant even in the end game because he's really good on the Styx boss. So that's why I would love to get him, because he would replace Valeria for me on the Styx boss. I would love that. But again, luxury thing. Do I need to go from SS to SS plus or triple S more than I need to get a Lust or more copies of Arrogance or many copies of Lust or more copies of Silas? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let's go to the final passive. Restores 3% max HP for every 7 crit hits landed. Required crit hits can go down to 5, and the percent regen can go up to a really high 8%. All in all, very good hero. S tier fighter, tremendous single target burst if you use him correctly. This Bloodblade Chieftain, just really good. Burst damage, bleed. Bleed is still really rare in this game. We'll look at the partner bond now. Once you have Kineza, she does not need to be deployed or anything. Just once you have her, you will unlock this effect. Blessing of Dragon Blood temporarily increases the hero's max HP by 20% when triggered. Lasts for 5 seconds. That comes from this passive here. So whenever he gets those restores, then 4 or 5 seconds after those restores, he will get the increased HP. It's fine. It makes the heals, the HP regens much stronger because he's gonna have 20% larger of a max HP pool to draw from. It's not the greatest skill in the world. I mean, compare this to Arrogance. Whenever he ults, if you have Lust, just plus 15% attack post-deployment. That's an enormous buff. I'll go to the Awakenings really quickly because I think the people that will pull on him are going to be Whales and Krakens. These are also the people that probably don't need my advice. However, he does have good Awakenings. His bleed uptime is not tremendous that you get here, the 17% chance. However, if you can get the A1, a lot better, right? Increases the chance of inflicting bleed by 10% on those basic attacks. So now you're talking 27%. It does last 4 seconds. You will build him really speedy. So this is quite nice, right? Like very nice. It's just good. If we go to the A2 here, plus 5% attack, why the heck not? And now the A3 I really like. So now you're going to have extremely high uptime because it's going to last, if we check here, will it show me? No, it doesn't. But you guys remember, it was 4 seconds. So I'll show you here, 4 seconds. Now it's going to last 50% longer. It's going to last 6 seconds. Now we're kind of cooking with gas. You get him going nice and speedy. Let's check that interval here, the typical 2.6 interval. No question, you can get him down comfortably to like 1.5 without even a crazy build. If he's attacking every 1.5 seconds with a 27% chance, he just needs to land one of them. It lasts 6 seconds. You know, there's a touch of RNG there, but it can line up really, really nicely, especially in a Nightmare comp where he's going to be attacking even faster because he is a Nightmare fighter unit. I probably should have mentioned that. This is going to be very high uptime. Is it going to be as good as someone like Vladov? No, but it's going to be darn close. It's going to feel close to 100% uptime. The A4, penetration, so ignoring all defense and resistances by 8%. That's good. And then finally the A5, this is very nice. Boiling Blood guarantees a crit hit on the first attack against the target inflicted with bleed. I shouldn't say it's very nice. It's hard to say. So Boiling Blood, if I pull it up, this is going to be the passive of his basic, but it's just basically what this is going to be is if it's inflicted with bleed, he always crits on his basic. However, now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, by the time someone has an A5 Salazar, unless they're like new and they're wailing on this banner, you're going to be crit capping him. All in all, though, it does make him supremely easy to build. So if you are a whale, like early mid-game, really if you're a Kraken, that's why you'd be going for this banner, go get your A5 Salazar. Why the heck not? For everyone else, absolutely not. Don't even dream of it. There's no point. There's literally no point. Here's Kineza. Basic attack has a 25% chance of gaining 1 chi stack. This is a unique thing in her kit. Triggering dodge also has a 100% chance of gaining 1 chi stack. You can just think of her as a dodge fighter. I will say she's got very high base attack as well. Over 5,800, almost 5,900. That's pretty darn cool. So what is a chi stack? Flowing life force that can enhance some skills, stacks up to 3 times. Upon reaching the maximum number of stacks, gaining this effect will instead regenerate by 50 rage. So once you've maxed out the stacks, and we will see what happens with the stacks from her passives, any additional chi will just give her more rage. You can cycle her ult a lot more. That's really nice. She also has dodge in her kit, and there's ways that you can improve her chances to dodge. I'll also shout out with Kineza. I'm almost certain the only base 2.3 second attack interval hero in the game. Let's go to the basic attack. Deals 50% damage to one enemy twice. This can go up to 60% twice, so 120% total. Fine. So here's where the chi can play its first role. Consumes all chi, with each stack dealing 150% damage to enemies in range 1 time. Afterwards, deals an additional 300% damage 1 time. So basically, it's 300% damage 1 time unless if she has no chi. Otherwise, she gets all those other bonuses. Final Strike can go up here. You can see to 500%. Chi damage consumption can go up by another 40%. So this could be 145%. They really want me to do some annoying math. So I believe that will be 435% is what that will come out to. It's solid. I mean, it's fine. The damage with her is like exactly fine. She's she's a solid hero. There's nothing more to it. Certainly not the kind of hero to distract you from a Virna Silas banner, or certainly not a Lust Arrogance banner. Very cool hero. The ult cost is really low if you skill her up, so it's only 500. She is pretty darn quick with a 2.3 base interval. She's a nice hero. Attack speed plays a big role in her kit. Originally has a 10% chance of dodge. Every 100 attack speed provides a 3% chance extra of dodge. You can see the base rate can go up to 15, and the extra dodge chance per 100 attack speed can go up by another 2%. So this can be a base chance of 15, and then every extra 100 attack speed, so on top of her base, is going to give her another 5%. So let's just a reasonable build. You built her with 300 extra attack speed. That's an extra 15%. So she's just going to be dodging. Whenever someone tries to hit her, 30% of the time she'll be dodging. You can build her with way more attack speed than that, and I suggest you do, but that's just a nice way to think of it. And then finally, enhances the next basic attack upon triggering dodge, making it deal 200% damage 1 time. And here's another chi effect in the passive. Each stack of chi makes basic attack and enhanced basic attack ignore 9% defense. So pretty interesting. The enhanced is what happens when you have the chi going. Again, she's exactly fine. You can get these bonuses. I won't even break them down from the Chi Shatter passive. You just want her going darn quick because that's going to increase the dodge chance. That's the best way to build Chi. She's fine. If we look here, she gets the better bond skill from Salazar than Salazar gets from her. The damage that Surging Roar deals, that is her ultimate. The damage it deals by consuming a stack of chi increases by 120%. So an extra 120% when she does those consumptions. That's where she can start being properly relevant and do some solid damage. But again, it is not like great damage. It's just solid damage. That's who she is. Very quickly, we'll go through the awakenings, and then we can wrap this video up because don't summon. Just don't do it. Each stack of chi restores 3% HP per second. Great, why not? Makes her a little tanky. She's already feels very tanky because she's dodging all the time. Some crit damage, why not? Surging Roar deals 100% increased damage on the final strike and inflicts stun. 0.5 second stun, I do not care. If it was like a 2-second stun, then maybe we'd be talking about something. I will say, though, it's not really showing you here, but Surging Roar during the ultimate, I don't know why it's pulling this up. It should be showing us the ultimate. But with the ultimate over here, Surging Roar, it's 500% with skill up, so now it's 600%, so it's 20% stronger. That's pretty cool. It's not crazy, but it's solid. The A4 here, Rages and Attack. This is going to keep recycling even more, and you are going to build her with a ton of attack speed, so every time she attacks, you are going to generate 2 more costs towards her ult, 2 more rage costs. This is a good one, and then her A5. For every stack of chi consumed, increases attack speed by 100 after casting Surging Roar. That is the ultimate again. Lasts for 10 seconds. If this was permanent, then we would have a crazy hero, but it's not. So it's just, she'll be a little nice chunk faster and she'll dodge a lot more. This does make her a much, much better hero. She's dodging all the time now, because if she's assuming she's consuming 3 stacks, with each one when she's skilled up 5% more, so that'd be another 15% every time. It's a 15% chance additive to dodge every time she consumes all her stacks. She's a cool hero, but she's just fine. She's like a B. So don't summon. Don't do it. I will break it down by spending group. Free to play through Whale, do not summon. Kraken, you can do it if you want. I probably still wouldn't. Because if you're such a Kraken that you summoned on Lust's and Arrogance banner to the point that you got A5 Lust and you got A5 Arrogance, then if you still want to keep going, why not move her over here? It's still a good banner. Oh, and you maxed out your Silas. You don't need to max out your Virna, in my opinion. Her A1, most overrated A1 in the game. I have A1 Virna, barely moved the needle. But yeah, okay, so if you summoned on Lust and Arrogance, that banner, you went so nuts, you pulled 2,000 times, whatever. You're a Kraken in this story. And you maxed them both out A5, and then you moved over to Silas, and maybe you already had him A3 or something, and then you maxed him out. No, but you can't, because there's no way. No, sorry, this comes first. I'm an absolute idiot. I'll leave this in so you guys can see how stupid I am. There's no way. Unless you have A5 Silas, you have A5 Arrogance, and you are confident as a Kraken, you have enough summons, or you're willing to spend enough to make sure you get A5 Lust, skip it. Everyone skip it. Everyone skip it. Where you are in the game, I would say if you are in your first 10 days, you can summon on this banner, because are you really going to wait an extra, 5 days? Maybe you should, and I wouldn't say you shouldn't, but, getting Salazar early game would be a huge carry, but you probably won't get him. I mean, it's only an 18% chance, right? So you'd have to pull 4 legendaries, is the math, to have over a 50% chance of one of them being him. Good luck, guys. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't pull on them. Don't do it. Should you summon? No. I'll see you guys in the next one. Share it with your mother.